Skippy02 here. Thanks for watching YouTube. What we're going to do here today is install a CMC trigger pack. This particular one is the 3.5 pound flat trigger, and this is what you got in the kit. Obviously you have the trigger pack itself. Notice the flat blade trigger, set of mounting pins, roll pins that are threaded, and 4 screws. 2 of the screws are already mounted, the other 2 are not, and then 2 torque screws. Obviously you'll need one of these, which is a standard AR-15 mil-spec lower, and any necessary tools. You may or may not need a couple of punches, tool for removing your pistol grip mounting screw, in this case a flathead, and a little Loctite, and that's really all you need. So let's get started. First thing you want to do is take your thread lock, put just a little drop, literally just a little drop on each of those dudes. That one's a little on the heavy side, but that's alright. Any excess we can clean up afterwards. Alright. Once you've got everything out, unless of course you're building this from scratch, in which case you're at this step anyway, take your trigger pack, make sure your receiver's clean, of course. You don't want any debris, trash, gunk, all that down there. Drop your trigger pack into place. Take your mounting pin, line it up in the holes, get it started, good to go. Take the other one, do the same, and just push them all the way until they bottom out. On the flip side, you should see that the 2 ends are there, waiting to be screwed, as it were. Take your Allen, or I keep saying Allen key, but it's actually a Torx key with one of the screws that you've already thread locked. Go ahead and run that dude down just finger tight. Repeat the process for the other mounting pin, like so. Alright. The second Allen key comes into play, or again Allen key. The second wrench comes into play here. One on each side of the same pin. Make sure you're on the same pin. And give it a little righty-tighty. You don't want to be much more than just finger tight. So don't get in here with no gorilla superhuman strength and crank it. Just snug. There you go. That's it. That's all she wrote. Take your shop towel, wipe off your excess Loctite adhesive spooge where it oozes out. Alright, guess what? Your trigger pack is in. That's really all there is to it. Word of note, popping the trigger, don't let the hammer free fly up and strike your bolt catch. That could result in a broken bolt catch, and that's no bueno. So be advised of that, but you'll want to go ahead and test this function and everything seems to be working. So great. So we're at that point where we can go ahead and put the rest of this back together. If you're watching, this is how that goes. Insert your safety, make sure it moves without problem or incident. Feels good. Now this is probably easier done without the mounting block, so we're going to set that out of the side. Take your detent, pointed side. If you look at the detent closely, you'll see it's flat on one side, point on the other. The pointy side goes towards the safety, so drop that into the receiver first. As you can see here, line it up. Get my fat fingers out of the way so you can see, but that may be easier said than done. There it goes. Alright. Your grip should have a hole with a screw, or not a screw, but a spring in it. It's pretty stiff. Don't lose that spring, don't lose that detent, and just line the 2 of them up. Of course it slides right out on me, you dirty dog you. Put you to sit in place there for just a second. Yeah, see, I definitely like it when it's in the grip, but this particular grip is molded with a hole that's pretty loose. So we'll just kind of hold it sideways here for a minute. And switch angles there. Are you seeing all that, YouTube? Sorry if I was blocking your view. When you go to put this together now, make sure this spring right here is lined up with that hole. You don't want it out of the hole and end up crushing the spring or anything like that. I've got my thumb on the other side holding my safety lever in place. The detent, as you saw, is in there. It's going to slide the grip on home. Everything should be pretty much captured. Take your grip screw, put it down in there, and once you get it in its hole, like so, go ahead and tighten it on down like normal. That's the one thing I don't like about the straight slot screws. When they're way down in there deep, you can't really see them or keep your install tool on them that well. Something to be said for the Allen head style grip screws. Okay, get that all snugged up. And again, when you've got your grip screw bottomed out, you don't want to, again, gorilla strength, superhuman ability it. Just want it good and snug. Check your fit, make sure your gaps are all good and tight the way they should be. Haven't lost a spring or anything like that. Check your safety lever function. It should flip back and forth just fine. Trigger should have no movement in the safe mode. Obviously it doesn't. Flip it to fire. Again, mind the hammer. So we know it fires. Safety will not return while the hammer is cocked. That's normal. So put it back in fire, recock the hammer. See the trigger resets. Hold the hammer, test it again. You may want to do this a couple times just to be sure. Feels good. Alright, now when the hammer is cocked, gun should go back in the safe and cycle normally. That feels good. We're in safe. We've got a dead trigger. We're good to go. And that is that. You now have a 3.5 pound flat-faced CMC trigger. Unbelievable, unbelievable triggers. I can't preach and sing their praise enough. And everything's functioning. You're ready to go ahead and get it all back together and get back on the range. But any questions or comments, leave them down below. We'll answer them accordingly. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you taking the time out of your day. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Take care of each other, and God bless. Thanks for watching.